Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and especially to those who are present in person today as we continue to advance in the energies of Pisces in 2025 as a discipleship group. As we began a few years ago, we continue to open as a group to the principles of the new astrology given to us as the science of relations by Master Dwal Kul in the Treatise on the Seven Rays, Volume 3, Esoteric Astrology. The science of relations takes us into the coming age, the Aquarian age, and over time, we will fully realize the science of the rays, the science of the triangles, the science of the centers through increasing esoteric understanding as we attempt to open the way to the higher evolution as a discipleship group.
We sound the mantra of the disciple's degree. May the energy of the divine self inspire us, and the light of the soul direct. May we be led from chaos to beauty, from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality.
Principles of the new astrology. Space is an entity. We speak at times of an expanding universe. What we really mean is an expanding consciousness. For this etheric body of the entity, space, is the recipient of many types of informing and penetrating energies. And it is also the field for the intelligent activity of the indwelling lives of the universe, of the many constellations, of the distant stars, of our solar system, of the planets within the system, and of all that constitutes the sum total of these separated living forms. The factor which relates them in consciousness and nothing else, and the field of conscious awareness, is created through the interplay of all living intelligent forms within the area of the etheric body of that great life, which we call space.
Principles of the new astrology. The science of the centers. All related. receptive, transmitting, radiating, impressing. Every form within the etheric body is like a center in a planet or in the human body. And the resemblance, based upon what I gave you here in relation to the human centers, is correct and recognizable. Each form, because it constitutes an aggregated area of substantial lives or atoms, is a center within the etheric body of the form of which it is a constituent part. It has, as the basis of its existence, a living dynamic point which integrates the form and preserves it in essential being. This form or center, large or small, a man or an atom of substance, is related to all other forms and expressing energies in the environing space, and is all automatically receptive to some and repudiates others through the process of non-recognition. It relays or transmits other energies radiating from other forms, and it thus becomes in its turn an impressing agent. You see, therefore, where differentiated truths approach each other and blend, forcing us to use the same terminologies in order to express the same factual truths or ideas.
Pause and find within your being the living, dynamic point of your soul, integrating your form and preserving it in essential being. From that point, recognize your achieved alignment. Recognize your soul, the source of love wisdom. Recognize all the equipment that you have been given and your relation to humanity as the soul. Bring into your consciousness a learning related to the law of attraction and repulsion. and move into the higher awareness of the one soul. That we may, as a group, be impressed and become impressing agents.
Principles of the new astrology. Spheres of radiation. Magnetic interplay. Relationships and levels of awareness in consciousness. Yet all is one life. Diversity in unity. Again, each point of life within a center has its own sphere of radiation or its own extending field of influence. This field is necessarily dependent upon the type and the nature of the indwelling consciousness. It is this magnetic interplay between the many vast centers of energy in space which is the basis of all astronomical relationships between universes, solar systems, and planets. Bear in mind, however, that it is the consciousness aspect which renders the form magnetic, receptive, repudiating, and transmitting. This consciousness differs according to the nature of the entity, which informs or works through a center, great or small. Bear in mind also that the life which pours through all centers and which animates the whole of space is the life of an entity. It is therefore the same life in all forms, limited in time and space by the intention, the wish, the form, and the quality of the indwelling consciousness. The types of consciousness are many and diverse, yet life remains ever the same and indivisible, for it is the one life.
As we move from chaos to beauty, from darkness to light, let us always increase soul consciousness and that awareness that it is one life. We are one life. Naught is but me.
Principles of the new astrology, the science of relations. Livingness is the basis of every relation. Pisces is the light of life itself. The sphere of radiation is conditioned always by the point of evolution of the life within the form. The correlating, integrating factor, relating center to center, is life itself. Life establishes contact. Livingness is the basis of every relation. Yet even this is not immediately apparent to you. Consciousness qualifies the contact and colors the radiation. Thus again we are returned to the same fundamental triplicity to which I gave the names of life, quality, appearance in an earlier book. In our solar system, the principle underlying the evolutionary process is love, wisdom.
Ray 2, love wisdom, the second purpose of deity, the cosmic Christ. The desire of the deity expresses itself through the second ray of love wisdom. Desire is a word which has been prostituted to cover the tendency of humanity to crave material things or those pleasures which bring satisfaction to the sensuous nature. It is applied to those conditions which will satisfy the personality. But in the last analysis, desire is essentially love. This desire expresses itself by attractiveness, by its capacity to draw to itself and into the radiance of its influence, that which is loved. It is a bond of coherence, and it is that principle of magnetic cohesion which lies behind all creative work and which produces the emergence into the light of manifestation of those forms or appearances through which it is possible to satisfy desire. This second ray is preeminently the ray of applied consciousness and works through the creation and development of those forms which are found throughout the universe.
Let us pause and consider humanity and the kingdoms of nature and each and every one of us, creations of the greater entity, and the desire of the greater entity to express as love. Consider ourselves the creative work of the greater. Fundamentally, an expression of the desire of the great entity to manifest as love wisdom in our solar system.
The Lord of Love Wisdom, who is the embodiment of pure love, is regarded by esotericists as being as close to the heart of the solar logos as was the beloved disciple close to the heart of the Christ of Galilee. This life instills into all forms the quality of love, with its small material manifestation of desire, and is the attractive principle in nature and the custodian of the law of attraction, which is the live demonstration of pure being. This Lord of Love is the most potent of the seven rays, because he is on the same cosmic ray as a solar deity. He expresses himself primarily through the planet Jupiter, which is his body of manifestation. His symbol is a thunder, the word that cycles down the ages.
Master Dwalkul gives us this tabulation showing the flow of the great energies of will and power, active intelligence, and love wisdom from the cosmic level. These great energies are part of the Great Bear, the Pleiades, that love wisdom from the cosmic level moves out and through the universe from Sirius into a great zodiacal triangle of energies, Leo, Capricorn, and Pisces. Through Pisces, the flow of love wisdom enters our system through the planet Uranus and moves into the hierarchy. The hierarchy, our planetary heart center. The symbol of love wisdom, the expression of love wisdom as consciousness. We recognize the hierarchy, the source of love wisdom. And accept the flow of love wisdom into the heart center of every disciple. Breathe in that higher consciousness into your being. For it expresses egoic love, which each disciple in turn expresses as control of the solar plexus center, control of the desire center and overcomes personal desire to achieve sacrifice through service. Master DK says that a study of the tabulation will demonstrate that there will be found a structure therein of many triangles of force. Some of these are cosmic, some zodiacal, others systemic, still others planetary, and there are reflections in the etheric body of the disciples of the world of all grades through the great triangle of Shambhala, the hierarchy, and humanity. Cosmic, zodiacal, and systemic force is focused, and these three, in their turn, a macrocosmic triangle of energies in relation to the individual human being upon the planet. He tells us how these become lines of transmission of force, the force of love wisdom. The highest triangle, Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity. Shambhala, the head center of the planet, hierarchy, the heart center of the planet, and humanity, the ajna center, which we examined when we reviewed the teachings on Aquarius. These then move from the head center to the base of the spine, the energy of purpose and will, from the heart center to the solar plexus, the energy of the hierarchy of love wisdom, that humanity may control through the disciples the desire plane and lift it to the heart center. For humanity represents the ajna center, which is currently expressed through the throat center of humanity. He goes on to tell us that one major center is here omitted because it is primarily related to the physical body and its expression of life perpetuation. And that is the sacral center. Just as the physical body is regarded by true esotericists as not a principle, so the sacral center is regarded as a necessary evocation between that which is high and that which is low, and between that which is sounded forth from the center in the throat and that which replies to a deeply sounded note. So in relation to our expression of love wisdom, as humanity begins to understand the science of relations and the interplay of the science of triangles with the science of the centers, there is hope that we can become the transmitting agents of this energy. And we'll move forward in the coming year to begin to integrate more into these essential relations. The first, that essential relation of the positive and the negative, which we reflect with the energies of the triangles above the diaphragm to those below the diaphragm. That is the fifth, essential relation. So we take things slowly and gradually and attempt to integrate as we move forward and practice in our meditations these great impressions that can be received as we superimpose the triangles and bring these energies in to be impressed and then to transmit. So in Pisces, let us focus on the quality of the heart given to us by Master DK, sacrifice. What must we sacrifice in order to assist humanity in developing soul consciousness and becoming living, moving, active beings as an expression of love wisdom?
Agna Yogi, Fiery World, Sloka 546. To give is a divine attribute. The inexhaustibility of giving is found in varying degrees in all of nature, but fire is the element in which giving is most apparent. The very principle of fire is transmutation and constant giving. Fire cannot exist without the sacrifice of giving. Likewise, the fiery seed of the Spirit exists through giving. But the sacrifice is a true one only when it has become the very nature of a man. A mental and compulsive sacrifice is neither natural nor divine. Only when sacrifice becomes an inalienable attribute of life does it become inseparable from the consciousness. We recognize the presence and effect of solar fire, the fire of consciousness, the fire of the soul.
Forgiveness or sacrifice in order to save others is increasingly the recognized needed keynote at this time, and in this recognition lies much to justify the sorry story of past evolutionary processes and methods. Sacrifice. When it is recognized that the giving for involves right living upon the physical plane and not, as is so often thought, the dying of the physical body, then we shall see a revitalized world.
United, we sound together as one. The souls of all are one, and we are one with them. We seek to love, not hate. We seek to serve and not exact do service. We seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring to light the love that underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate and outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let all people love.
We love, we serve, we heal. As we move forward, we began in Aquarius, thinking into the minds of humanity, the promise of the Aquarian age, the humanity becoming the ajna center of the planet. In Pisces, let us think into humanity's mind and consciousness, the heart, the second ray, Jupiter and the sun, life force and group consciousness. The love petals of the egoic lotus as a five-pointed star on the higher mental plane. Knowledge, love, love, knowledge, love, 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 sacrifice, and sacrifice, love. And focus on the triangle of the advanced soul, advanced man, the heart center, the throat center, and the head center, with representations of the four lesser centers and that synthesis, the ajna center. As you meditate, bring these together and draw down for all types of spiritual people who have experienced the birth of Christ in the heart, the first initiation, and see the soul consciousness that is that unity across all of our groups, including all of those in meditation with us, daily, weekly, monthly. As we prepare to move forward to Aries, where we will consider the head center, hold the concepts of the heart center as the life force, the heart center as group consciousness, and lift the heart center to the head, opening the radiance of the point of the head through which soul consciousness can pour, illumining, radiating, and allowing the transmission of soul energy out into the chaos of our times, quieting and allowing the goodwill to pour forth for all of humanity. So as we move toward Aries from Pisces, Uranus will become more dominant in our thinking. For Uranus is today the transmitter of Syrian force, love, wisdom, via Pisces to the hierarchy. And the hierarchy, that middle center, passes love, wisdom to that sensitive band of disciples, aspirants, and workers to whose hearts and hands is committed the heavy task incident to the reorganization and the rebuilding of the shattered world structure. The seventh ray has sometimes been called a peculiar name by knowers. It is regarded as the ray of ritualistic decency. It aids and inaugurates the appearing of a new world order based on a spiritual drive and an aspiration, mental freedom, loving understanding, and a physical plane rhythm that provides opportunity for full creative expression. So today we will consider what in the Agni Yoga teachings is called the pulse. This physical plane rhythm, which provides opportunity for full creative expression. To bring this about, the energy of Shambhala, embodying the will to good, is fused and blended with the organizing energy of the seventh ray, and then carried to humanity along the stream of love which emanates from the hierarchy itself. Let us truly integrate this idea from Master DK, that Pisces governs this effort of the hierarchy because the highest aspect of Pisces which humanity can at this time in any way comprehend is that of mediatorship. So let us integrate into our being the expression of love wisdom that is mediatorship. And as we proceed through the coming year, we will emphasize this great triangle on a cosmic level again in Leo and then in Capricorn. That as we move toward Aries and the festival of the Wesak in Taurus and the festival of goodwill in Gemini, let us hold the power of this great ray of love wisdom and understand our role as mediators on the physical plane on behalf of hierarchy.
From Agni Yoga, Heart, Sloka 40. Everyone has a heart, and everyone has an energy potential contained within that heart, which means that the new world is not prohibited to anyone. We say that the new world is cognition of the invisible, even if that cognition is at a rudimentary stage. Even that degree of understanding would set life on new foundations. The unifier of energies, the unifier of knowledge, the fiery ketub, is understood by an Agni yogi. When people strive to cognize the invisible, it will become clear how imperceptibly the strata of the new consciousness are being formed, and how this consciousness is changing the essence of life.
Master DK says, let me pause a moment here to point out that in this study of triangles, it is not possible for us to do more than study certain of the major groups of triangles and a few of the most important triangles where humanity itself is concerned. It is of value for human beings to realize that there are other evolutions and other forms of logoic expression of equal importance to their own. There is, in truth, a veritable multiplicity of triangles, for the triangle is a basic geometric form of all manifestation, and it is to be seen by those who have eyes to see, underlying the entire fabric of manifestation. Whether it is the manifestation of a solar system, the manifestation of a zodiacal round, the cosmic triplicities, or the tiny reflection of this divine triple whole, which we call man. When the human being is manifest but not yet truly manifested, the triangles which symbolize this manifestation are the two eyes and the third eye, which we looked at in Aquarius. The right eye, the eye of Buddhi, of wisdom and of vision. The left eye, the eye of mind and of common sense and of sight. And the eye of Shiva, the all-seeing eye, which develops as the spiritual eye, the eye which directs the will and purposes of deity. So as we develop, we understand that this is the triangle when we are not yet truly manifested. That these three are in reality when the human being is truly manifested. the eye of the Father, carrying that light from the Great Bear through Leo to Saturn. The eye of the Sun, carrying that light from Sirius of love wisdom through Pisces to Uranus. And the eye of the Mother, carrying light from the Pleiades through Capricorn to Mercury. And it is this latter light energy from Mercury which is necessarily peculiarly active when the sign of Taurus, when we move to the Wesak, is dominant in any planetary or individual horoscope. So let us keep this in mind in terms of our own development, in terms of our own triangles of the centers that are developing within us, the triangles that are developing within our groups, and the unifying triangles that we invoke when we invoke on that grand scale on behalf of humanity in our work and meditation.
Agni Yoga, Heart, Sloka 19. If people could sense the special nature of the moment, even partially, they would be helping us a great deal. Even if they do not discern exactly what is happening, just by sharing in a common mood, they would be strengthening the magnet of the will. People do not realize the extent to which unconscious vegetating complicates the world order. The heart, being a hearth of transformation, ought to give each person an idea of the pressure of the spiritual atmosphere. We should not suppose that the heart suffers only because of things that concern us personally. Naturally, it etches on account of the agitation worldwide. You should attempt to unite hearts into a harmonious round where all dance in accord. For even a hardly tacit heart will add its precious energy to the common chalice. The heart strengthens our transmissions, pushing aside the new underbrush. There are many untacit hearts, but there are still more that are buried under ashes. Many sparks are needed to penetrate those cold ashes. We recognize the presence and effect of soul of fire, the fire of consciousness, the fire of the soul.
We recognize the importance of the expression of the energies of the heart, divine love, wisdom, by all aspirants and disciples, and in unity, thinking the lifting of the solar plexus to the heart into the minds of humanity. As we move forward together in the coming year, let us bring forth the energies of Pisces to Gemini and Virgo, for these great zodiacal energies bring forth the will to love, relating us to the incoming will to good, expressed as goodwill from the hierarchy. This is the energy of mediation of right relationship. Today, as never before, DK says, the hierarchy stands as a mediating transmitter between humanity and the will of God, the revelation of the true significance and purpose of that will as it stands behind all world events, and it's needed now as never before. This can come through a closer relation between the hierarchy and humanity. The hierarchy acts as a mediating transmitter between humanity and its karma, for it is equally essential that the laws for the transmutation of karma into active present good are clearly grasped. And finally, this energy of mediation of right relationship. Today, as never before, the hierarchy stands as the mediating transmitter between humanity and cosmic evil, focused for many millennia of years in what has been called the Black Lodge. Speculation anent this lodge and its activities is both fruitless and dangerous. But for us to know that hierarchy is the mediating transmitter, enabling us to stand in the true presence of the will of God. The cosmic Christ then emerges as the world Savior, emerging through humanity and consummated in the hierarchy. So we will continue to focus on the great ashram that is developing, the ashram of synthesis, the first ray, the second ray, and the seventh ray, as coming forth into the consciousness of humanity to create the field for the emergence of the world Savior.
In Pisces, through the will aspect of the second ray, focused in Shambhala, you have the whole story of unity, brought about by the life and the will of the second ray, producing the emergence of the Christ consciousness and the appearing in objectivity of the Christ principle. In the final stage, Pisces stands for the death of the personality and the release of the soul from captivity and its return into the task of the world Savior. The great achievement is finished and the final death is undergone, as in there is no more sea, says the ancient book, which means inevitably the death of the fishes and the release of the imprisoned life into new forms or new cycles of the divine adventure. It is interesting to note that each of these three signs of death is to be found in a different cross. Aries in the cardinal cross, Scorpio in the fixed cross, and Pisces in the mutable cross. It is the influence of these three which brings about the three needed and determined deaths in the life of the human being. I am here referring to the signs, independently of their planetary rulers. There is something in the energy which pours through these signs, which predetermines a crystallizing process and the eventual destruction of some type of form control. The old commentary expresses these ideas in the following terms. The fire blazed forth, and through that fire I died to life, and so was born to death. And then again I died to form. Aries. The heat of earth, the fiery temple of the mother, destroyed the form, released the soul, and so the lesser self was killed. Scorpio. The waters drowned the man. The fish was made to disappear. And then it appeared again, only to die, or else to die and bring salvation. Pisces.
You might refer to Psalm 17. Display your great love. Think of each of these signs of death as a display of the great love of the second ray, the ray of our solar system, and the soul ray of our planetary life. In some unusual manner from the human angle, all that concerns the development of humanity has been down the ages expressed by humanity in terms of illumination and knowledge, in terms of sight and of the entrance of light, thus leading to revelation and incidentally to the true theme of astrological interpretation, which Master DK tells us comes through the science of destiny, which will emerge in thousands of years as part of the new astrology. From this peculiar angle, therefore, we can approach the great triangles with which we are today concerned and deal also with their significance in terms of light.
Pisces, as a stream of energy, is also pushing through and producing effects upon those in the human family, who not only respond to the Leo force and are consequently individuals in their own consciousness, but are responding also to the steadily expanding Christ consciousness. Of this, they are becoming increasingly aware in their own individual experience. This is the higher aspect of the energy of Pisces, It is awareness of the group, of the whole, and of the universe. It is the energy of Buddhi, the higher aspect of the lower psychic nature. It is intuitional control instead of the intellectual instead of the intellectual I'm sorry.
The intellectual overlordship of Leo and the limitations of Virgo. Many are responding, and we endeavor in our group work on the higher level when we move from that point of soul consciousness in our own being to link across distance, heart and mind, linking to all those who are responding to this higher aspect of the energy of Pisces. So, with heartfelt intent, we say,
we are one with our group brothers and sisters, and all that we have is theirs. May the love which is in the soul pour forth to them. May the strength which is in us lift and aid them. May the thoughts which the soul creates reach and encourage them. May the energy of the divine self be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world.
this is our intention in every meditation, at every moment when we reach to the higher soul consciousness. Envision that soul consciousness connecting to all the working groups, strengthening, enlightening, bringing illumination to humanity. And the love wisdom of the soul permeating through every activity of the disciples and initiates around the world to bring the mediatorship of the hierarchy into greater presence and guide humanity forward. So let us consider in our theme of Pisces the heart, the rhythm of the heart, and the pulse of the heart.
Agni Yoga Heart, Sloka 140. During sleep, the heart can yield quite remarkable observations. One can gradually bring to light the activity of the heart and connection with its participation in the life of the subtle world. One can explain how, on the one hand, the heart depends upon and reflects the cosmic pulse, while on the other hand, it takes on a peculiar tempo from the subtle world when it is directly participating in that domain. So by making a series of careful observation, a person can establish the connection of the subtle world with the cosmos and the physical world. The role of the human heart is to accumulate energies and transform them. But it is important to use experimental means to show humanity the significance of vibrations. To know. A hint lies in the words, let the mother know the father.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the hint lies in the words, let the mother know the father. It has a relation to the marriage in the heavens. The symbol of love wisdom, the occult hierarchy, the consciousness of love, divine understanding, divine inclusiveness and identification with the coming one, and the preparatory phase of the appearance of the masters and planning for the appearance of the Christ. Let us recall the first essential relation. Let us link sacrifice and the expression of that giving to the etheric physical plane, which is creation.
Every day, as you approach the time to sleep, orient to the second ray of love wisdom and allow the soul to communicate what is important for you to know in relation to your activities in service and sacrifice that you will create and come together in group formation to create on the physical plane. Knowing that you are linking with the ashram. An ashram, this place of quietly confident, regulated effort. The plan and the immediate service activity are known, and disciples and initiates, each aware of his task and equipment, proceed to carry out the phase of the one work which is theirs. Each senses relationship to the phases of the work undertaken by his or her group brothers and sisters. And it is in learning to see the picture whole as the master ever sees it that confidence and security are developed. This ability to see the whole and always be reminded in each group activity, whatever group it is, that it is part of the one work. Our groups are not separate. They are all part of the one work in the developing ashram of synthesis. And say, in all these instances, with purpose and determination, I strive towards comprehension. Thy will, not mine, be done. And then consider the world of souls, which is the hierarchy in relation to the world of men and women, and in relation to Shambhala. And this involves a study of the nature of the hierarchical effort as it is expressed through love. Love being that synthetic, inclusive grasp of the life and needs of all beings. Master DK states that he chose these two words with intent. which is the high prerogative of the divine Son of God to operate. And we achieve a conscious identification with the plan for humanity, and the plan for all the kingdoms in nature. He says in Treatise on White Magic, looking ahead during the conclave, that was 1500 AD, the assembled servers of the race noted the future coming in of the Aquarian Age, with its distinctive energies and its amazing opportunities. These they noted, and they sought to prepare us for that period, which would approximate 2,500 years. And we are now just at the transition into this age, and which could, if duly utilized, bring about the unification consciously and intelligently of humanity, and so produce the manifestation of what DK prefers to call scientific brotherhood, in contradistinction to the sentimental connotation of the term now so prevalent. And as we've learned in our studies, what this entails is shifting of humanity and the polarization on the astral plane of emotions and trauma for many, clearing that astral plane of glamour and illusion. Through the first 1,000 years of the Aquarian Age, consciously, intelligently working to dissipate glamour and illusion. So consider the world of souls in your meditation in relation to the world of men, the world of humanity, as we endeavor to know from hierarchy our mediator, the plan, and hold the intention of that plan as the highest that humanity can achieve in the coming Aquarian Age. Knowing that the strength, availability, and usefulness of an ashram is that sum total of all that its members can contribute, plus that which those above the 3rd degree of initiation can import from still higher sources, or the masters of the ashrams can make available at need. So consider this. At need. And there are usually 3 cooperating masters in every ashram, with one at the apex of the triangle. That master acts as the master of the ashram and is responsible for the preparation of disciples for initiation. Frequently, he says there are also associated masters, particularly during cycles of rapid initiation, as is the case today. So consider yourself in relation to the ashram when you stand at the periphery of the ashram to which you are affiliated. Spend some time in the coming weeks and months considering that place where you stand. For DK says we work through our first group, our family, and our community. And we have our service groups. And yet, as we move in soul personality integration, we begin to consider the ashram to which we are affiliated as we stand on the periphery of that ashram. when the question comes to mind in meditation, say, I strive towards understanding. Let wisdom take the place of knowledge in my life. And then consider your groups as units within the one greater ashram and the developing ashram of synthesis, the first, second, and seventh rays, gaining strength and power as we enter the Aquarian age, energizing by light, faith, love, and power, the spiritual center within which we serve. And the ashramic projects for which we accept responsibility. Our service, our intention, to dare to serve, standing on the periphery of the ashram, to become mediators in all of our groups and to unify groups in service of the plan.
Agni Yoga Heart Sloka 233. A command of the will can change the pulse. One can almost stop the heart. You might carry out all kinds of psychophysiological actions. But if you ask me how to act now, I will tell you, let your heart ascend. Picture your heart as if it were in a chalice from which a flame was rising. Thus, above the physiological functions, let us place the aspiration of the heart upward to the hierarchy.
To dare, to dare, to dare. These words give the clue to the subordination of the personality and have a close connection with the great clearinghouse of desire and of the astral forces, and also the main center of the transmutated work. Humanity. To dare, to serve, to embody goodwill.
And we find when we dare, it is in encountering daily challenges, we can have doubts. So we listen to this sloka from Agni Yoga Heart, sloka 6. Doubt means the downfall of quality. Doubt is the tomb of the heart. Doubt is a source of ugliness. Doubt must be touched on in every talk, because where will we end up without quality? What will we understand without the heart? What will we attain without beauty? People will ask, why does infinity come first? We started with that infinity. We considered the cosmos. Then hierarchy, the heart of the planetary being. And only then heart, rather than the reverse. But first comes the direction, then the link, and then the means. From the cosmos comes direction, then the link, hierarchy, our link with God, and then the means, the heart. One must not mar this sacred means with doubt. Let us observe the quality of a person's pulse when he's experiencing doubt, and also when he's engaged in faithful striving. If doubt is able to change the pulse and emanations, what physical deterioration it may work upon the nervous system. For doubt devours psychic energy. So kill out doubt. And strive to enter the heart and lift the heart energies to the head center, the mind. I strive towards cooperation. Let the master of my life, the soul, and likewise the one I seek to serve, throw light through me on others. Without a doubt. Soul presence, illumining every day, every moment, expanding soul consciousness by thinking these teachings into the minds and hearts of humanity. Unity is the first sign that the teaching is not simply empty sound. The teaching is a light on the dark path. Seekers should understand how often caution is needed, because the megaphone of space amplifies every sound. Therefore, we listen for the note of the soul, and silence brings an attunement to hear that sound amplified in the ever-expanding spaces in which we live and move and have our being. We hold this flow of love wisdom and sound the Om with the intent of daring to know in every part of our nature. I pledge myself to the path of love. I demand of my soul that I, the spirit in form, shall act as a channel of compassion and an instrument of love until I know myself to be love itself. I am that love. With pure intent I serve. To this in knowledge full I pledge myself.
In the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om. Om. Om.
Tatsavitu Pareniyam Pargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhuvasva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yona Prachodayat Om. Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om. Savitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai